the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is Iracing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome. We're live tonight here at Kansas Motor Speedway. That's right, about to do some racing here with the Sim500 Monday Night Money Series presented by Transervice. And boy, I tell you what, we're in the chase here tonight. The round after tonight will be the round of 8. So that's right now we got 12 drivers, but we're going to eliminate them down to 8 drivers after tonight, and it's going to be interesting to see what goes on here as qualifying's underway. Well, I'm Joe White up here in the booth, and you've heard this guy before. I call him Jay Weezy, man. He's the G-man himself. What's up, Gerald?
The unfamous Jay Weezy.
The unfamous.
The infamous.
Hey, the infamous. There you go. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Well, man, I tell you, it has been a season, and I know you've been in the booth with me throughout the entire season in the truck series here at Sim500, and new to kind of the Cup Series side, but a lot of the same drivers here and whatnot. Got a heated up chase going on. Anthony DeBarro, man, I'm gonna tell you what, that guy, I hate it, but obviously things in life come up, work, family, stuff like that. Definitely way more important than iRacing or anything game wise or sim wise, whatever you want to call it. But yeah. It does kind of suck. I mean, and sorry for the language, lack of coming up with a better word, because we're sitting 4th in the points, well into going to the next round, but tonight could find himself out of it after all the hard work this season.
Yeah, it looks tight. Just looking at, plus we were talking about it, so, Anthony DeBarro not here. That's going to knock him out maybe, just depending on how they do the points, and it might put Jonathan Cadell in. So, looks like a lot of fun, though, because the competition's stiff over here, and this is my favorite car, the Cup car. These things, they're not easy to drive here, so a lot of driving is going to be going on tonight. Maybe some bumping the wall, because they're going to be running right outside in that top groove right up next to the wall in these cars, and they got a lot of horsepower to control. They
do. That's the thing about these cars here. The Cup cars, I call them the monster machines out here, because these guys, man, they barrel around this place. But just to give you an idea, folks, there on the screen, I'll let y'all see what the points look like and just the cutoff line and what it looks like to the next the driver there. Jonathan Cadell, we just mentioned him, does look like he's the best one to get there. I'm not saying Scott Simley doesn't have a shot, but he pretty much is going to have to win to get into this thing, and still even winning might not get him there. So he's going to have a heck of a showing here tonight. So yeah. I'm going to look at Jonathan Cadell right there at that number 9 cutoff spot.
Yeah, keep an eye on him, and I've raced with him plenty of times. He's plenty fast enough to make it in there. Right now, I don't believe he's put a time down yet here in qualifying. Still got a minute and a half left. Not sure if he's going to start in the back or not, but it might make it a little bit difficult considering all the drivers they have here. I believe 32 cars, if not more than that, showed up here. And right now, he's not on the leaderboard, so
see that.
He's definitely got a shot at it, though. He can work his way up through the field. He's got enough talent to do it. He's a quick driver.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here at Kansas. Kansas, a unique style track here. You've drove it many a times. What do you think we're going to see around these cars here tonight?
Man, I tell you what, these things are a handful. sometimes if you can bounce that right side off of the wall in the right spot, I mean, you can really get a good run off. So, you know, you're not doing it on purpose. It's just being so close to the wall, running up there that high. Sometimes you get into it a little bit, and it really it's going to be difficult for these drivers, that's for sure. Passing is going to be difficult as well. You know, there might be a little give and take tonight, and there might not be later on in the race. So, you know, you might see a lot more of it early on than you will later.
All right, good assessment there. Well, I want to appreciate and give a shout out here to a new sponsor here at the Sim500. Let me get them up right here, right fast for you. Proud to introduce Sim Graphics. You can look at them right down there at the bottom. That's the cars of Mitch Rollo, Justin Fuller, and Joey Katina will be running their graphics here tonight. So I want to appreciate it. If you're looking for some graphics out there, check out one of the major sponsors here at the Sim500. Sim Graphics, man, they'll definitely check you out and they'll get you hooked up. Well, we're going to grid these boys up here tonight. As the man on pole here tonight, Mitch Rollo, we just mentioned him right there, puts it out front. Jose Gonzalez is going to start in second. Third place, Nick Cohan. He needs a good finish here tonight. Not had the chase that he definitely want. Chad Cole, he's been dominating the chase so far. Starting in fourth, fifth place starter, Chad Coleman. Nick Timms right there starting in sixth. Seventh place man, Scott Simley. We talked about him. He's got a long shot. Well, he could definitely use a win tonight, maybe just get in. Going to be close. Thomas George starting in eighth. There's another one with a very, very long shot here. As you get the ninth place starter, Sean Castro, and Nick Silver rounds the top 10s. Look through the rest of this field. Man, there's some heavy hitters out here. Some bad, fast cars, bad, fast track. About to do some awful bad, fast things here.
Yeah, you know, a lot of familiar names I see out there. A lot of great drivers, man, you know, and the track's a little bit slick too, you know, and they got these cup cars, so they got plenty of power underneath them, and they got all of the control of it there in their hands and their feet.
Absolutely do, and they're about ready to gear them up here and get these guys, man, going around here and flying around Kansas Motor Speedway tonight. I think it's going to be a good one here. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with the top 8 drivers as we come out of Kansas here. You know, getting down to the end of the season, getting down to where, you know, every point matters, every position matters. You know, and the best of the best, we're going to take 4 drivers to Homestead before it's all over with.
Yeah, and Chad Cole, you know, he's up there on the top of the charts, 52 points out. Mitch Rollo, 46. So, you know, those guys, they really showed up for this. It looks like, you know, I'm coming in late, and, you know, I haven't been here before, so it's all a little bit new to me. But just looking at it, man, Chad Cole, you know, like I said earlier, it's like he's the silent assassin. You know, he's always there. You really don't see him until later in the races, or sometimes you don't even see him until you look at the points, and then you're like, hey, there's Chad, you know. So him and Chad Coleman, you know,
they do, and it's pop up, man, anytime they feel like it, and pop at the right time too. But
Absolutely.
Now Nick Cohan's one I really want to watch tonight here, because, you know, Nick Cohan definitely, he just needs a good run. He is right there in 7th. He just needs some good mojo, so to speak. Just not had that run here in the chase so far.
Yeah, Nick Cohan, man, he's been doing a great job over at the Truck Series. You know, he's got I believe 3 or 4 wins over there. So he's really been doing a great job over there, and I'm sure it's no different here. You know, a lot of the same guys, a couple different faces I see, but you know, hey, it's tough. These Sim500 guys, man, they're strong.
Yep, pace car's in. We're going green flag, and Mitch Rollo wastes no time. He says, fellas, I got to get out here and go, and he does. He gets a good jump out front of the field right there. As Chad Cole and company behind him are mixing it up.
Time to go, man. He took off too, you know, and the high line's going to prevail here early on. And, you know, what a great start. You know, these cars are tricky at getting a good restart too. Not only do you have to get a jump on that guy, but you also got to keep it from spinning, you know, because they definitely have enough horsepower to burn rubber all the way down the straightaway a little bit. And if you try to stay out on older tires, it's even worse. So.
Oh, absolutely. And these guys right now definitely, man, are they're out there putting, man, what they have to do is right now the battle's on for second place. Nick Cohan understands he's got to get up there, so he's going to battle alongside with Jose Gonzalez and Chad Cole.
He had to lift right there, so Chad Cole's going to get by him, and then Nick Sims moves in there to steal it. So not a great start here for Nick Cohan right now. He's running the middle. He's doing a pretty good job at it, but now he's got a chance to slide up in there.
Absolutely. Well, I want to appreciate everybody tuning in. We're off racing here tonight. I got 128 laps going to be on the board here for Kansas, as this is going to be the round of 8 after tonight. So 8 drivers will go on to try to battle for the championship, as we'll wind it on down to 4 drivers eventually there. But man, Mitch Rollo right now out front. Scott Simley back here battling a little bit. Got Nick Silver on the inside there, the 59 of Sean Castro.
Oh yeah, that's the first battle there. Most of the guys in front of them are single file, and the 12 having some trouble trying to get to that high side. Everybody's trying to move in on him, and until he can get that spot, he's going to be stuck down there, it looks like. But he ought to be able to drop in behind Nick Silver, but Nick not going to make it easy on him, I see.
Oh, no, he's not. He got Eric Arnold right behind him. Looks like the high line's the place to be here. Is that right?
Oh yeah, right up next to that wall, man, is the fastest line around here. Like I said, it's a little difficult though. Sometimes you'll tap that wall a little bit. These cars, they are a little bit loose, coming off about center off. When you get back into that throttle, you gotta be very careful. If you stomp down on it, it'll want to kick out on you. So you gotta kind of roll into the throttle and just be very careful, especially coming off turn number 4 and turn 2.
Absolutely. Well, right now, looking at a good one. You got the Sim Graphics machine out there, George Katina in the number 14. He's back there in about the 19th spot. I'm looking back here. I think who's that? Nelson Rivera looking on the inside down there in the 22. He's trying to come up underneath the 52 of Justin Fuller. I know, a lot of these guys back here, a lot different in these cars here there, Gerald. I mean, these guys got a lot more power. I call the Cup car more of a finesse car, way different than what a truck is.
Yeah, the truck, man, it's almost all the way flat foot. You can pretty much flat foot them things around. You burp it here and there, and sometimes you're not in the gas, but most of the time you're on the throttle. And these cars, you're off the throttle a whole lot, and you play with the throttle and the braking. Try to get it down. Look at Justin, makes a move on the outside of Sean Bounty there.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to do it right there. Sean Bounty got a little bit loose in that 34. Had to go down, but you're right, man. They're already running a high side way up against the wall.
Yeah, and you see Sean get loose there. That was on the straightaway coming through the trial, so that shows you that they don't have a lot of grip out there. Getting loose coming through the trial right there, that's not a really sharp corner there. It just shows you how loose these cars are. And he lost a little bit of ground to Justin Fuller.
108 degree track temp out here, very hot out here, so these guys are definitely going to have some treacherous track to deal with, treacherous car obviously to deal with. Kind of looking at the battle back here, but man, now me personally, Gerald, I never liked riding that close to the outside wall.
Yeah, but you have to if you want to be fast here, and that track temperature's been going up too. It started off at 107, so it's already gained 1 degree, and I'm interested to see how fast that's going to go up or how high it's going to go up, because the hotter it is, the harder these are to drive. Wow. They're already a handful, though, Joe.
Watching Jonathan Cadell, then this is kind of interesting because he's back in 26th position right now. Not making headway. Got Glenn Campbell right there in front of me, Jimmy Coleman behind him. But you would think Jonathan would probably want to try to move up. Maybe he's trying to play the patient game and try to say, okay, look, I know they might be a caution. Hopefully not. But, the feel of the race right now kind of feels like it's hard to pass out there.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to just get the feel, try to find his line, maybe fill out the car a little bit and get in his groove, get it going there. You see the car in front of him there, that was the 6 of Jonathan Lockhart. That's what I was saying about tapping that wall there in the center. Sometimes that'll help you on your exit, but sometimes it can mess you up there too. So you gotta be very careful how you're getting up next to that wall. If you do get caught up on it there, sometimes they'll keep it up in there to let these other drivers go so they don't cause a problem. But what you were saying about Jonathan Cadell, him starting there further back, he's going to have to work his way up. He's got a long way to go, and that's just part of that give and take early on I was talking about. Maybe right now he's just kind of taking it easy, and then later on he'll start taking it a little bit more serious.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You're talking about Jonathan Lockhart right there. Yeah, just got kind of sucked up into the wall, and that's usually what these cars will do, especially as close as they are. There's a fine line between, like you say, running fast and getting up there, but we're already completed lap 12 of 128 here at Kansas with the Sim500 Monday Night Money Series presented by Transervice. And we're at the race here. 12 drivers come in here tonight, folks. But after tonight, only 8 of them. And right there, just give you an idea of what we're looking at points-wise. On the cutoff, Chad Coleman. You got Jonathan Goodell. Now, the most notably in this list, Anthony DeBarro is not here tonight. Now, me and Gerald have been trying to throw our calculators up here and calculate a little bit. We're not 100%, but with 30-some cars out here, if Jonathan Goodell, now obviously if Jonathan stays where he is, Anthony's okay. You've got to look at it that way. Jonathan's going to definitely have to move up at least, top 15 or something like that in order to get up there.
Yeah, if not higher than that. If I was Jonathan, I'd be shooting for a top 5, to make sure I lock myself in. And that's still not guaranteed, with that, 28 points or so. I believe it was 28, wasn't it?
Yep.
Oh, 20.
So
20, if it's a point per position, then you're definitely going to look for a top 5 to lock yourself in, if not a top 10, so yep. He's still got a long way to go, though. Maybe he's just taking it easy right now, filling it out.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, no caution came out, but DJ Dwight Beverly slid, hit the inside wall, went into the pits. Unfortunately, he is going to end his night. But, yeah, just thinking about that, we're obviously looking right here. He is, 8 points out from Chad Coleman. Now, just to give you an idea, Chad Coleman right now is sitting in 6th. Obviously, he's going to hang on to him, so that's going to put Nick Cohan, who is, in 5th. Jonathan Goodell right now, even though he's only 8 points out, and Anthony DeBarro's not here, there's still mathematically a chance that Jonathan Goodell will not make the top 8.
Oh, yeah. I can understand that happening for sure. And, right behind the 20 of Chad Cole, man, we got a lot of guys lined up there behind that 20. Chad's in 6th there. He's got Thomas George, Sean Casto, Nick Silver, Eric Arnold. A lot of guys back there. They are battling in a pretty tight little group there. It's a pretty fun little race to watch.
Yeah, I see that right there. Get the JDR graphics of Chad Coleman, but you're talking about Nick Silver and company, and behind them, Eric Arnold, Josh Parker, and all those duking it out side by side right here at lap 17. You got the 2 machine of Mike Kelly. We've seen him win a couple times, but at 23, Josh Parker at the Napa know-how, and he got a little wiggly coming off the turn.
Yeah, he started 13th there. He's gained 3 spots. He's up to 10th there, and we know Josh Parker, he's usually up front somewhere by the time the end of the night. He's trying to make a move here on Nick Silver. A little different lines. Some of these drivers running different lines than others. Most of them up by the wall. Some of them can get it to work there about halfway through. Instead of running that very top line, they run that middle line, and they can get it to work somehow. I'm not sure how they're doing it. I'd have to try it a couple times to see, but it's not easy.
So it's a good
He's
race.
Actually starting to gain some ground here on Sean Casto in that 59 there. And, he's definitely running a totally different line than a lot of these other drivers. So some of these other drivers might see that and see him gaining ground on them. It might switch up their run.
Well, we're 19 laps in. Obviously, going to be close, but you're right. He's actually diving down lower and letting that car kind of drift up the turn. And the only problem with that is obviously he's going to have to make the pass coming out of the turn and let that thing drift. But, man, he shot it going into the turn, and he passed Sean Castro. He's looking for Thomas George.
Yeah, and he's side by side with Thomas right now, and he's able to gain a good run coming off of 4 there. He's going to actually clear Thomas George. Nick Tim's going to he let Chad Coleman go there and said, hold up, that's enough. I ain't going to let everybody go. But Josh Parker ought to be able to get by. And Eric Arnold seen Josh Parker making those moves, running that different line, and he's trying it himself, and it's actually working for him as well.
Boy, Nick Timms almost got up into the wall right there, and I tell you, that put Thomas George had to make an evasive move on the inside. They're going slide by side, almost contact coming out, and they do just a little fender rub coming to the line, but it's 3 wide.
Wow, it don't get much closer than that, Joe. It's I mean, I doubt you can slide a piece of paper in between them on exit. They were right next to each other through the corner all the way off of the turn number 4.
Nice racing going on right here. They still are beating and banging. Thomas George, he held on to that machine. Wow, going to drop a little positions there, but man, what's some intense racing going on right here.
Yeah, a little bit of contact there. Thomas went down low there. He actually lost 4 spots there. He's going to fall in behind Nick Silver.
Wow. So far, man, so good as these guys, man, are definitely, they're just beating each other half to death out here on the track so far. 3 wide. Oh, Justin Fuller and Sean Kester thought about it. They got out of it.
Yeah, Nick Timms had just let Justin Fuller go there, and Sean Casto moved in as well. So Nick's starting to lose a couple spots there. He started 6th. He's back to 9th. He's being very patient, though, letting some of these drivers that he thinks pushing a little harder than he is go. I can't blame him for that.
Absolutely. That's right. Slide job out here. You're right. I tell you what, Cody. Hey, definitely, man, are mixing up in this middle pack right here from about 7th on back. I mean, these guys are duking out. What you're starting to see, though, Gerald, we saw everybody up against the wall early. Now we're starting to see them come off the wall, kind of the middle ways into the track.
Yeah, when they see Josh Parker fly by them like that, they kind of change up their line a little bit. You know, you can do a slide job here. Sometimes you have to do a slide job to get around somebody, and it'll work out for you.
Is it surprising you they're coming off the wall doing a different line?
Well, you know, they're starting to see these guys get around them on the bottom, and they're like, hey, is it faster down there? They're going to go down there and search around and see if they can do it too. You know, Josh Parker was one of the first cars I seen do that, and he's up to 5th right now. So he's trying to run down Chad Cole there in 4th. He's about two seconds back from Chad, so he's got a long way to go. But it's working out for him, and, you know, these other guys are seeing it.
Absolutely, and you got a slew of them back here. Nelson Rivera, Thomas George, Mike Kelly, and all of them are definitely utilizing that low line, kind of diving it in low, letting the car drift out of the turn. I mean, that works as long as you make the pass. I mean, like you said, we call it a slide job because you're basically going to cut the nose off the guy behind you if you can get around him. The only time it don't work is well, if you're still side by side coming out of the turn.
Yeah. Or somebody's really fast up on that high side, you know, and you just ain't got the chance. But Eric Arnold, man, he's really made that middle line work, or middle to low line, I guess you would call it. He's trying to follow Josh Parker up there. Josh has just really got it figured out, though. So
Josh does right now. So still watching.